everybody. Welcome to Digging Deeper Jazz. I'm Jeff Antoniuk. All right, so today I want to give you a really good framework for understanding how to get better at jazz and improvisation. Now, this is for all instruments, and I'm including guitar and piano and drums and vocals and everybody else. So this idea, and there's three little important steps, and they really support and link to each other. So there's so many ways to practice inefficiently. I know because I did almost all of them myself. So what I really love doing is seeing people jump ahead so quickly. And I've been lucky enough to see this as a teacher many, many times in my career, is someone who has plateaued for years, decades sometimes, and we can loosen things up, and in weeks, they're noticing themselves sounding better. That's what this is about, and this framework is going to do that for you. So there's three little points here. So let's talk about that really quickly. So the first thing I want you doing is learning jazz songs. Classic jazz songs, not etudes from an etude book, a classic song written by Charlie Parker or whomever. Memorize that song. I was very hesitant to do that as a young player. Learn and memorize songs, step number one. Step number two is I want you to take information you already have and bring it into that song. Now we're going to go through this and talk about what that means. So unless you've never played or heard or thought about jazz, you know something. I know you know something. So you're going to take that thing and bring it into the song. That's step two. Step three is this song we're working on, whatever it is, you're going to take something out of that song and take it into the next song you do. That's it. And that creates this incredible support. It's teaching you almost everything you need to know about jazz. Yes, you're gonna have to deal with your instrument, about how to efficiently play the guitar, how to not get carpal tunnel syndrome on the piano, and how to have a good embouchure on the sax. Sure, that's not what we're talking about here today. We're talking about getting ahead playing jazz. So that's what we're going to dig into right away. And I think this is going to be a game changer, actually, for a lot of people. Now, before we get there, this is video Digging Deeper 130 something, 131 maybe. So there are 130 other videos out there. And I want to tell you that starting this week, we are taking down a bunch of them from YouTube. So they're not going to be available on YouTube anymore. They are going to be available at JazzWire.net, the subscription website that I've been running for well over a year. All the videos are available there. There's going to be some available for you. So here's the main thing. If you want to be on the subscription list, send me your email address and we'll put you on. So every video you get, every PDF comes to you, and so we're not cutting anybody off of anything. So all the new videos will be up for at least a month, I think. So you can go back and see the video from 4 weeks ago. The idea with taking them off YouTube and putting them on JazzWire is these videos. YouTube is great for presenting information and for making connections. I get to meet you. You get to hear about me for the first time because of this thing called YouTube. I get to present you what I'm thinking about. YouTube is terrible for actual teaching and actual learning. It doesn't happen here. I've never met you. I don't know what you sound like. I'm not sure what your embouchure is like. I'm not sure what kind of voicings you're playing on guitar right now. I don't know anything about you. So that's where we find out at JazzWire. So I want to make the communication better, stronger. So all the videos and so much more is at jazzwire.net. So I want to see you there. That's the place to have a meaningful experience, not this passive experience of watching YouTube. So use the code, by the way. It's down below, Digging Spring, when you sign up, and that'll save you money off getting registered to get going with us. Okay, let's get back into this idea, these three things I want you to do. So the first thing is learn a jazz song. Now, with these three steps, they're simple, but there's, again, an infinite number of ways to get them wrong. That's why I want to work with you. So I'm going to make it very simple, a jazz bebop song. Yes, there are other tunes that would work, but I'm going to make it as simple and as understandable to everyone as possible. So I'm going to use the example of Billy's Bounce, one of my favorite bebop songs of all time. I've been playing it for years. So yes, I'm not learning it. It's not one of the songs I'm learning this week. I happen to know this song, but we'll use this as our point of departure. If you're, a novice player, if you've been playing jazz just a little bit, this would be a great one to challenge yourself with. Billy's Bounce. Let me play it for you. So pick this tune. There you go. You've got this song. Now I want you to memorize it. You may not have ever memorized a tune. There is nothing better than internalizing things, right? You should probably internalize your wedding anniversary date. That would be good advice. I should actually do like a relationship video or something. I could save a lot of people a lot of problems. If it's important, internalize it. You're telling me you want to learn jazz, it's important, memorize the song. That's step one. Okay, let's move on. So now what are you going to bring in to the tune? This is a new song. You don't know much about it. What are you going to bring in? So the analogy about the relationship. Wow, I'm in a new relationship. This relationship's important to me. What past experience can I bring in? What worked in the past? What did not work in the past? Let me have that inform this, right? So that's what I want you to do. So what is a lick, a device, a melody, a technique that has worked for you in the past? So I have a PDF for this video, as I do for all of them. Item number 2 is My Old Lick, and it sounds like this. Well, I'm glad you like My Old Lick because I stole it from Thelonious Monk and many, many other players. So it's a particular lick that I like to talk about and teach. We're not going to get into the mechanics of it here, but it's a great lick. So, all right, that is something I know a little bit about, and now I'm going to help that lick teach me this new song. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play through the chord changes of Billy's Bounce, and I'm going to see if I can fit that lick into each measure of the tune. So first thing I'm going to do is play the tune so you can be reminded of the song. Then the second time through, I'm not improvising exactly. I'm taking this past information and seeing if I can make it work in this new setting. Here we go. Okay, I did it. Cheating a little bit because that's a song I know very well, Billy's Bounce, the blues. And yes, that's a lick I know very well. I definitely could have challenged myself with the new lick. I am learning a new lick this week, and I am learning a new song this week, but I wanted to have something that was sort of accessible for you guys. The lick I'm learning would not be appropriate for this level of conversation. The blues is a great place to start. So yes, I was shooting fish in the barrel. I got it. Yay for me. Now that lick has nothing to do with Billy's Bounce. So that idea about bringing past information forward. So I've got this new song that I'm still working on. I'm still trying to memorize it. I want some help with that. So I bring my past knowledge along. And that helps. By the way, when I bring past knowledge along, I am being reminded of my past knowledge. I'm at the age where I have forgotten far more things than I actually know right now. I've forgotten a lot, right? So just to remember some of the good information I have is great. So there's all sorts of bangs for the buck here that I'm being reminded of old information, and I'm getting this old information to inform a new setting. I'm going to play a better solo because I have that information. So now the third step is very interesting. Now what I'm suggesting is let's take something from this new song forward into the next song. So in this Charlie Parker composition, which we're playing this song 70, 80 years later. Why? Because it's freaking brilliant, right? If it's brilliant, and it is, there is 3 or 4 or 5 notes in here that you should learn. There's a lick here. There's a resolution of a note. There's a rhythm. I don't care what it is. Drummers, you should be doing this. Is there a rhythm? Is there a syncopation in this song that you can take forward? The answer is yeah. Now, here's the exciting part. Every jazz musician, probably, since 1943, has played this song. And what Joshua Redman got out of it, and what John Coltrane got out of it, and what I get out of it are different. That's cool, right? We can take this seed and go in different directions with it. So item number 3 on the sheet. What I picked is the first 3 notes of the song. Like, it can be that small a seed, these first 3 notes. That particular rhythm with the pickup, I like, and the fact that there's this lower neighbor. So this is how I'm analyzing it. I'm starting on the 5th of the chord, then there's a lower neighbor, which I like, that little tension and release, and then it goes up to the root. So to me, this is also a little complicated because it's a lick in the key of F, as we see it on the sheet, but I don't start on an F, I start on a C. So already it's challenging even for me as a full-time pro that I see F7, but I don't get to play F. I have to play the 5th. I have to do a little translation in my head. So for some of you, this might be too complicated. You should pick something that starts on the root or something that starts on beat 1, whatever. But this little idea, can I take this forward? So now the implication is, wow, you really better understand this idea, know how to play it, probably know how to play it in more keys than just F. That would probably be helpful. It'll make it more usable, this idea of yours, right? Scalable. So that's where we go from here. So for instance, I would learn that little lick around the circle of fourths. So I stopped, I sped it up a little bit to challenge myself to see what I could do. And again, there's so many ways to get each of these simple steps. I know you understand these 3 steps, but where to go from here? That's why you need a coach. That's why you need some guidance. That's why YouTube isn't the best way to do this. We can't communicate, right? That's why I want to see you in JazzWire and put some real teeth to exercises like this and the 130 that came before it. So I want you to give this a try, and I want you to think about in your practice, have you done this sort of thing before? First of all, have you forced yourself to memorize a tune? If not, the world is going to get pretty cool because it's going to be some work to memorize that first song, but you're not going to believe how good it feels and how expansive it is when you get this music inside your body, when you internalize it. This idea of bringing in something that you know from the past. You do this all day long. That's the only reason you can do the job that you do and have the relationships you have is because you bring in things that have worked for you in the past into the current one. Do that with music. Most people forget to do that. And then this next idea of this new situation I'm in, wow, what is cool from this and what could I take forward to help me with the next song? That sort of thinking is how you get ahead quickly. So I would love to hear your experiences. Yes, I can read, a post or 2. I'd love to hear some comments, but to get working ahead, moving ahead with this stuff, use the code DiggingSpring at JazzWire. I will see you there. Have a great week.